Alright, the wait is over. The Xenogears is here. Part 2. And this was definitely the one to pull on. I can tell you just right away, spoiler alert, this is definitely the one to pull on. Part 1 is definitely the bait. Part 2 is where your resources should be going, because Faye is the absolute definitely strongest in terms of being by himself. He is definitely the strongest Neovision Plus. He gets 500 fly attack, which no other Neovision Plus has gotten, I think. Or, like, he's one of the first who actually has 500 flat things on his S team right now. All the other ones haven't really gotten, or they were like 250. So it was kind of low. And so his team is not that good, but his S team is definitely necessary for him. So, his vision card, of course, is not very good. If you go to EX3, I believe, you can get this passive here. I believe everyone has this, but for a gathering category, you get 500 flat on a Neovision Plus unit only, because that's where you equip him. So sadly, he's the restricted turns. Okay, so EX2, the 500 LB damage, whatever. This is all pretty standard stuff. 120 times. This is kind of useful. The removing of buffs. You don't really care about this stuff, but you do care about the removing of buffs, so that's good at least. A bunch of useless chaining stuff that you'll probably never use, most likely. This is not too bad because it does give you some MP. And then, well, like way down here hidden, this was really surprising. This is what turns a meta. 50% Fist in Peril. And you can only use it one time, so you gotta make that count. But 50% Fist in Peril for 3 turns. It doesn't last for like 1 turn or 2 turns, 3 turns. So if you have a way of abusing getting his LB bar all the way up over and over and over again, then you'll be able to get that, be able to use that 50% Fist in Peril very nicely. That's huge. And if you have 2 phase, I know in Dark Vision you're not going to be able to do this, but like in terms of trials or other kind of things you can bring them to, you could use 1 for now and then use the other one later. So now you have 6 turns in total of 50% Fist in Peril. That's just insane. I'm pretty certain, I'm pretty confident he should be up there in terms of being the best damage dealer in the game. You can only use fists. It is what it is. Now we gotta find a way of getting a 2-handed fist. I don't know if there's a Dark Vision fist for a 2-handed. There might be. I only know 1-handed fist, but there's gotta be some 2-handed fist in the game somewhere. He doesn't have his own, so we're just gonna have to find it somewhere. If you know any, and let me know in the comment section down below, because I don't really use 2-handed fists. I don't remember the last time I ever used 2-handed fists. I don't remember the last time I ever used fists in general, so I usually have a pretty good memory when it comes to these things, but I haven't used them in a long time, so it's kind of like, I wish I could tell you. It's quite a few killers. No 100% killers for everybody, so that's kind of a restriction, but his TMR thing is not that great, but I believe it's higher in his Brave Shift form. So at least he's got that going for him. And then he has the 5-turn thing, so you really want to get it done quickly, but you'll still do really good damage. Even so, you'll still do really good damage. His base form's damage is not too bad. 410 times on top of it's 510 times plus the 120. That's like over 600, so not too bad. Not good or anything, but it's not bad. You could use it as a filler. And he does not have, I was like maybe he would have like an LB fill. Like, remember Deus? I don't think they're ever going to do that ever again. Remember Deus where you could just use his LB every single turn in his Brave Shift form? That was good. That was nice. The only difference in his Brave Shift form is that his LB is different, and then you have this, which is good. You can fill your LB to full, and then you'll unlock these abilities which aren't useful. They're not very useful. There are these, like 200 mana or MP. Sorry, MP. For what? 550 times chaining. Unless these, I mean, even this is 1,000 times chaining basically. If those were like ignore defense, then it would probably worth going into doing that. But it's like 1,000 times chaining times 3. times 3. And I don't really see the point of doing that, but okay. It's there as an option. And then let's look at his Brave Shift LB. 510 times. 610 times. Yeah, 610 times with the passive. And then you have another 120 times on top of that. So he's going to be very strong. I would not be surprised if he's like number 2 or number 1 or number 2. Because he also has a very good side component to him as well. We'll be talking about soon. So I'm gonna give him. So let's talk about the demerits, like the reductions. 4 turns. So he doesn't have infinite turns. It is what it is, and also he's TDH instead of True Dual Wield. I would have preferred True Dual Wield because then if he had 8 times cap, there would be no question if he was the best. But since he's TDH, it's gonna be a little harder to see if he is. And there's no unearned passive thing. I looked. There's no unearned passive. However, I just noticed this. He has 600. He has 600% cap already. Or 6 times cap. He already has 6 times cap or 600% cap already. That's unheard of. Usually they only give you 500%. He has 600%. So that's interesting. Okay, well he's got that going for him at least. I wish he was a True Dual Wield unit instead, because in the game he is using both fists. Like he's punching with both fists, so I mean, he should have been dual wielding, but it is what it is. What can you do? Can't make him way too strong. They can make him really, really strong, but they can't make him too strong. So demerits are going to be the restrictions on the turns, and that he's not True Dual Wield. I guess that's like the smallest of gripes. I wish he was True Dual Wield instead, because it'd be easier to build him with 2 fists instead of having to track down a 2-handed fist. That's good enough. So I'm gonna give him a 9 out of 10. Very, very much worth your lapis here, because unlike all those other ones where they had a lot of flaws and you need a lot of support, this guy only needs half as much support. Now he needs a dark amp, who unfortunately only one person has currently. That would be Kimono Darfina, I think. I believe so anyways. And he doesn't really need weapon imperils because he has his own now. 50%. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. So all he really needs is 100% amp. He needs some buffs, and then he's ready to go. So he needs a lot less support than other Neovision Plus units have. So 9 out of 10 I think is pretty fair. He is on the Gathering, so we'll be talking about the next unit very shortly. Guardians as well, but the rest aren't really anything you care about. Alright, so Esmeralda also only has limited turns. Decent STMR for her. TMR is whatever. 150% amp. Very nice. So she got that going for her. I was already pretty sold. It's pretty decent. These ones are. I wish these were better. They should be for all allies. If you can only use them 3 times, they should be for all allies. Just saying. And these ability modifier things, who cares? Also, she does have Stone Killer for one ally, and you can use it every other turn. Sadly, it does not look like she has the 8 times cap, so you probably would build her TDH instead, which reminds me a lot of like Terra back then, where she was True Dual and TDH at the same time. But I'm pretty sure you're going to want to build her TDH because she does not have the 8 times cap, but she does have the 600% cap, because remember, everybody starts out with 400%. She has 200% right there with no restrictions. There you go. You're not going to be doing a lot of damage, I can tell you that much. But she has a very good leader skill, 750% for dark units. So I believe that maybe the first. I believe that's the first one ever that surpasses Deus, because I was still using Deus for his leader skill, and I was like, where's the next leader skill for dark? There it is. So they got you. They scooped you up. They got you now. Now you gotta pull. So if you pulled for part 1 and you got nothing left, This is the big surprise. Surprise! Meta banner. Surprise! You pulled for the trash one. It pains me to say that. It pains me to say part one's trash, but it kind of is compared to this. Let's be honest with ourselves here. It's trash. So 150% amp, store buff, 130 times modifier. Keep in mind she is a Neovision Plus unit and a Neovision unit and a Neovision Plus era damage, but she does have competent damage. Does have some competent damage. Sadly, for some reason, they keep doing this, and it's gonna. I feel like they're just doing this to bug me at this point. They are different chaining families. Now, in Dark Visions, this is not really that big of a deal because you can just have another person that's 27 hits, and then you can bring in someone else who's 24 hits. So it's really not that big of a deal. But in terms of a trial format, this is really annoying because what are you chaining 27 hits with in a trial setting? I don't know, because you're going to be having 2 phase. I don't know, guys. It's kind of weird. I hate it, but it is what it is. Does have 50% fist in peril. So, or 40% fist in peril, not 50%. That'd be insane. So she is your relatively after damage. After you, if you're in a trial, I'm only talking about trial setting. If the boss is literally not pummeled into the dirt and splattered everywhere and left a scorch mark from phase damage, you still have another 40% after the 50% wears off. So you're losing 10%, but you're still getting it, and this is not an SLB, so you can activate this whenever. So very solid unit. I wish some of these abilities were better, but I'll take what I can get. Good leader skill, 150% amp, good modifiers. Wish the chaining was better, 24 hits instead of 27, or phase was 27 instead of 24, but they like doing that for some reason, so I'm going to go ahead and give her an 8.5. Very, very solid unit. I was actually very surprised. Alright, let's talk about crowns and upgrades. Citan's is just like... Oh, this is the reason why... Citan's crowns are the reason why I wanted to make this video right now, before I go to bed, because I don't want to forget. I don't understand what they were thinking with this guy. What is all this? Who's using any of this? Nobody. 60% resistances? Who cares? He does not have any LB mod buffs besides the one he already had originally. He did not get any upgrades in that regard. His LB did get upgraded, but it's not good. 3 new times. So now it's... He does nothing. I forgot it's in his Brave Shift form. And I think that his Brave Shift form only upgrades for his Brave Shift LB, so you can't even do that. So 89% defensive spirit break, I guess, is okay. 150% in peril for those elements, it's okay. He could be a breaker for Faye at least. He doesn't have any attack or magic breaks though, I believe. So kind of need that. I mean, he has 85%. Seems to be it's kind of the standard. So I guess that's okay. But then when you go to his Brave Shift form, this is not upgraded at all. He already had the 150% amp. So that's nothing new. And it's just like, what is going on here? I don't get it. It's just not good. Just not good. So, unlike this guy, the next person we'll be talking about, their crowns are a lot better. This guy's crowns, I didn't even want to talk about, but I wanted to talk about it, get over with. They're not good. They're okay. The 89% defensive spirit break is probably the only thing that actually saves it, because I didn't even notice that. Because I just ran right through it, because I looked at his Brave Shift form and I was so disappointed that he barely got anything. So, yeah, you could bring him as Phase Breaker. So, actually, you could actually have Faye and Esmeralda and Citan on the same team, and it wouldn't be griefing. You wouldn't be griefing yourself because they all work together. They don't all have the same... Oh, Citan doesn't have the same element. Is he not an elemental in his base form? No, he's not. So, that's kind of a bummer. But at least he has the breaks. I mean, if you really want to make a Xenogears team, you're going to have to go out of your way to do it. Alright, so next one I want to talk about, whose actually crowns are actually good, Elly's. Surprisingly, her crowns are very nice. So, she gets an LB upgrade, and this is the big one. Kind of. So, she does not have this without crowns. I looked at the global version's Elly. So she has 60 times mod buff for her Brave Shift LB. That's permanent as long as she doesn't die. And this is for her base LB and Brave Shift LB, if you're wondering. So that's already very good. I like that. Now we go over to her Brave Shift form. And what did it was 510 times in total. If you used her base LB first. She has an Imperil field for more than just wind now. She has fire, wind, earth, light, and dark. 50% Imperil field for 10 turns. 40% Rod Imperil. It's also really, really good. 510 times plus the store buff. So this is a good crown upgrade. This is what I call a good crown upgrade. She's still not going to be doing a lot of damage, but she will do damage now. 510 times plus the store buff. Like, there's no way she doesn't do damage. She'll need some way of getting amps, though, it looks like. Because she doesn't have any. So she'll need 100% amp somehow. I don't know if you're going to do that. But it's there, guys. It's there. She will be able to do more stuff than what she used to do. So I'm actually more impressed with these crowns than Citan's, which is surprising because it should have been the other way around for the most part, what most people were expecting, and that was not the case. All right, this video is already way too long. I need to go to bed soon, so I think this batch is so much better than part one. Like, part one feels like a distant memory already. Like, it feels like it was made like in advance or something, and it was this was just made now or something. I don't know. I don't know how to compare them. It just feels like they're part one feels like the Stone Age, and we're already in the future with this unit here. He seems way too strong, and so I'm expecting not to get any of him. But we'll have to see how that goes when the time comes when I'm going to be pulling for this banner. I'm definitely pulling now. There's most likely not going to be a part 3. If there is, that'd be crazy. They've never done a part 3 for any collaboration. There was a part 3. They did do a part 3 for something. It was long. It was quite a few months ago, but I believe there was a part 3. There was to something. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was just a regular Final Fantasy title. There was something that was a part 3. It might not have been a collab, but I can't remember anymore. I'm so tired. So this is definitely worth your lapis. I'm definitely going to be pulling, and hopefully I'll get good luck, but the rates are very bad, so let's see how that goes. I see a lot of people in my Discord pulling Neovision Plus units like it's nothing, and then I go through the entire step up and get nothing, so it's like, I'm not built that way. I want to be built that way, but I'm never built that way. Anyways, make sure to check out the description and pinned comment if you want to fund the Xenogears pulls. I don't normally ask for donations of any kind, but this means a lot to me. Xenogears is my favorite game, so I really want to do a giant pull session, but I can't really do it right now. But the banner will be up for a little while, so I can just maybe, get lapis here and there and stuff like that too. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.